Why didn't anybody think of this sooner? I mean, check this out. This bike looks incredible with minimalist and streamlined angles, and it's sure to draw a crowd at any bike event or maybe any event. I'm Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles, and in this video we're checking out the Q3 from Kixin. You guys remember the Kixin Q5? Maybe you do. It was a fun, super unique hybrid bike with a big battery hidden inside an awesome frame. In this video, the Q3, Kixin is at it again with a similar description but a very different bike. This is the kind of bike that you would want to accessorize your wardrobe with. Maybe get a futuristic helmet that's totally impractical, maybe like an overpriced watch and a backpack that feels like being abducted. Okay, check this out. Normally a bike is made of a head tube, a top tube, a seat stay, and a chain stay. The Q3 incorporates all of that together in one direct attack line from the rear hub all the way to the front. As a matter of fact, the front light and the battery rack are combined in here too. All the essentials in a clean design. Now, although it looks like a folding bike at first glance, the frame is static and cannot be folded. The handlebars do fold down, and of course the seat can as well, but having a static frame greatly improves the ride feeling, and it also maintains that awesome look. The fenders even add to it, having a span of metal from the front of the bike to the back. Even the fender brackets, which are normally just polished metal, Kixin went out of their way to make sure that these were black coated as well. Now, there are some parts of the bike that can't be murdered out, like the brake disc, or the stanchions, and the suspension. That would add way too much to the cost and complexity of it, especially for a bike company that orders in bulk. Now, you can tell that I love the look of the bike, even though I have to risk scratching it when I take it out to the office. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the practicality side of using the Q3. I'm talking about like on the road and commuting, that sort of stuff. The ride felt really nice, as the first thing that I noticed was the crisp contrast of the easy-to-read display. This bike I have here is a factory sample, so I think the software is going to change. Right now it's set for 3 levels of pedal assist, which is based on a cadence sensor, and turning the bike on, it starts at level 1, there is no level 0, and it's also set for a top speed of 28 miles an hour. It's actually really easy to change, and I think that Kixin will do exactly that for the customer bikes. The weight of the bike is fairly low, which gives it a good sense of natural control. The fat 20 by 4 inch tires are now a mainstay in electric bikes, and there's a good reason for that. The wide surface area and the small height of the tires are a good combo, and the weight of the components doesn't really matter because you've got a big motor. Now, speaking of that, this is a 750 watt motor, which throws out a lot of power from that 48 volt, 12.75 amp hour pack. Now, the ground clearance is also fairly high, which is a pretty funny thing to say about a bike like this. And the front headlight is not just good looking, but it's really bright and illuminates the pathway quite well. Personally, I like that the light is not attached to the fork, as turns in low speed wind up spraying the area with light instead of actually focusing on where you're going. Off-road, this guy is surprisingly fun, but there are some realities that we have to confront. So let's take it out to the trail. So the Kixin Q3 can do some light off-road, but I wouldn't want you to get stuck somewhere with overconfidence. I mean, the bike does have fenders, so you probably didn't think it was going to be a rock climber already. I mean, take a look at the brakes. These are mechanical disc brakes, which are wonderful for maintenance. I've run brakes like these for years on my city bikes, but they're not the best for serious off-road. On a steep downhill, these brakes would be pushing their limits. Also, the gearing is quite narrow. We've got a 14 to 28 tooth freewheel in the back and a Shimano tourney derailleur. With reliance on the motor, this derailleur isn't really an issue for most use cases, so while I do think it's adequate for some short off-road, I think that the Q5 is a little bit better, but in reality both of these are meant to be on the road primarily and off-road just a little bit, which is honestly where I spend a lot of my time anyway. Now, the Q3 is a dang good looking electric bike that can master the urban environment and add not only power but style to pretty much anything you do. Even mundane trips around town, they feel like a parade while riding this eye-catching machine. With braze-ons for a rear rack, a removable locking battery, and folding handlebars, there's some added practicality that makes it really easy to live with. Taking it off-road like we did is also great, but you gotta have the right expectations. The short suspension and complex steering are tough to recommend for technical rides, but again, through short woods and splintering off to explore a new pathway, the Q3 is a lot of fun. So there's my take on it, but what do you guys think of the Kixin Q3? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles, and I will see you on the later.